tell me everything.
Well, first, yes, Dio did sneak into the facility. He used the large cargo elevator and came into the warehouse on floor A through the number 9 door. Since the game hadn't started yet, anyone could go through it.
That seems unsafe.
That doesn't really sound like sneaking. It sounds more like he just walked in.
Yes, I guess you could say that. He did get in pretty easily, but that's because Zero Jr. lured him here.
What do you mean?
Dio wasn't a surprise.
Oh.
Both Zeros knew that he was going to come.
So they brought him here?
In a way,
But why?
because his presence was an important part of Zero's project.
What project?
I can't go into that right now. We'd be here forever.
Well,
It's a very big backstory, you know.
Right now, let's just focus on the murders, okay? Anyway, Dio found his way in. They made sure he didn't know that he was actually being let in.
so why did he come here?
To make sure Zero's project failed. His first step was to pretend to be one of the players. As for how he did that, you had it pretty much right. The old woman was the first one out, and he killed her under the graffiti. He put her bracelet on after he wiped the blood off it with the handkerchief. Then he wrapped the knife up and hid it between the 5th and 6th AB rooms, counting
Fifth
from the
and
left in their original placement.
In other words, the rightmost room would be the 6th room and the one next to it would be the 5th.
Right.
Warum erklärt? Warum? Ich hab's doch
After
sogar
that,
angezeigt.
He went back into the 5th AB room where Quark was sleeping. Then he just waited for Quark to wake up.
What were you doing while that was happening?
Nothing. I couldn't do anything. My body had been turned off. Zero Jr. had powered me down. My body wasn't activated until after Dio went into the 5th room. I couldn't help her. All I could do was watch while she was murdered. Everything in this place is controlled by Zero Jr. I couldn't try and prevent Dio from getting in either.
Wait, if Zero Jr. controls everything, then he was the one who moved the 6th room with the crane?
Yes, that's right. Zero Jr. moved the room, not me.
Then who moved the old woman?
Me. It took me 10 minutes to get out of my AB room once I was turned back on. I ran over to check on her as soon as I did. Then I carried her back to the room I'd been in,
Why did you do that?
because I was ordered to.
What? Oh, und schwarz.
Luna, listen to me very carefully.
Oh, sogar von ihr selbst. Okay.
As you already know, the final stage of the project begins in 2 hours.
Erkennen Sie die Stimme?
This will be the culmination of many years of hard work.
Stellen Sie die etwas robotiker vor.
We cannot afford failure.
Ist das Alan Mac?
Nee, ich meine nicht, welcher Sprecher, sondern im Spiel. Wo du schon mal
Im
gehört
Spiel?
hast, genau. Und ein bisschen lautsprecherig.
Ach, ist das einfach dann, ja, die Ansage
Ja.
oder was? Ach so. Ist Zero Senior dann Junpei oder was?
Yes, I understand.
Then let's make
Sie ja
sure.
auch, ne? Also,
What is your mission?
Enter the nonary game as one of the participants and observe the actions of the other players. Ensure that they do what they are supposed to and guide them down the correct paths.
How many players will there be?
Myself and 7 others, ma'am. Will you be participating as well?
Yes, our plan dictates that I must.
Das ist übrigens auch, also diese Frau hast du auch schon mal
An individual
als
by the
Silhouette
name of
gesehen.
Dio will be entering this facility
sie
presently.
als Silhouette.
He has been led to believe he is doing so
Ja,
undetected.
ich glaube, ich könnte es eigentlich schon sagen, aber ich bin mir nicht sicher.
Also in dem Spiel hier.
Ja, ja.
You've been briefed on him already, correct?
Yes. He will murder the first person to leave one of the AB rooms and take their place. If a pair is the first out, he'll probably kill both of them. That's all the information I've been given on him, ma'am.
Is there a problem?
With all due respect, ma'am, I would like to state that I don't feel right about this. We know someone is going to be killed, and we're just going to let it happen? I also have doubts about the use of Radical 6. Are you sure? Infecting all these people with such a horrible disease.
That is none of your concern. Your only concern is to follow your orders.
But...
Luna, I am giving you an order. I am in command, and you do as I say. You are programmed to do as I say. You know this.
Yes.
Good. Now, I have one final order.
Another order, ma'am?
Yes. When you leave the AB room, the person Dio has killed will still be there. I would like you to move them.
Where?
To the room you are about to enter. The 6th AB room.
But why?
Not your concern. As a participant in the game, you must have as little knowledge of it as possible. That is why I have made sure you are unable to access any classified data. There are things you must not know. In order for this project to succeed, we need you to be as close to a clean slate as possible.
Take the word,
there are
Luna.
some
Go.
things you already know, which ideally you would not. Unfortunately, this is unavoidable, so you must refrain from divulging anything you know about the project to the other participants. You must never tell anyone what you know about Dio, or the body, or that you carried it to the 6th AB room. You will have to pretend you know nothing more than the rest of the participants.
Is that an order?
Yes. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Die Arkane, du.
After that, I went into the AB room as I'd been told to. As soon as I stepped inside, my body deactivated.
That was the sound of my body deactivating.
But since my brain is in the main computer, I was still awake, so I still saw everything. While I waited, I used the security cameras to see what was going on in the rest of the facility.
And you saw the old woman being murdered.
Yes, it was hard. What I was seeing made no sense. Several of my higher level processes nearly failed. To think that she would be the first person to come out. I think she knew that Dio was going to kill her when she'd said she had one final order for me. I didn't understand what she meant. Like a fool, I told her I didn't approve, when I had no idea what she was prepared to do. When she died,
She died for
whatever I
her
have that
land.
passes for a heart,
Like a true
felt
patriot.
like it snapped in two.
Hat ein bisschen Ähnlichkeit zu The Boss. Wenn der Boss älter aussehe.
I think I understand. Everything you did because you'd been ordered to.
Yes,
And it was the old woman who gave you those orders. Then is she, Zero Senior?
no,
What? But if she gave you the orders,
she did, but she wasn't the only person I took orders from.
there was someone else.
Yes,
And that person is Zero Senior?
yes. They worked together to develop the project she mentioned. So I
fällt grad wieder
suppose
ein bisschen mehr ein,
technically my
wie
orders came
das
from both
weitergeht.
of them. And they were both controlling Zero Junior too.
So they were both Zero Senior.
Ja,
I told you
kinda.
before that Zero Junior moved the 6th AB room. Although that's strictly true, he didn't do it of his own free will. They ordered him to do it. He was following orders just like me.
I mean, duh.
But why?
I don't know. I really don't. Maybe they did it so that people wouldn't suspect me.
If they didn't want people to suspect you, then why have you moved the body in the first place? Eventually we'd figure out that the rooms had been moved and that she was in your room.
Then maybe they wanted the opposite.
You mean...
Maybe they wanted you to suspect me.
That doesn't make sense either. If they wanted people to suspect you, why move the room?
You're right. Then maybe they only wanted certain people to be suspicious of me.
You mean like Alice?
Yes. Perhaps they wanted Alice to find the handkerchief and the knife. That would explain why they moved the room.
So they somehow knew Dio would hide the knife here.
Yes, I think so.
But how could they know that? They have played it already.
Well, whatever the reasons were,
Played it up,
Alice
I
did
think.
notice that the room was moved.
Yeah, you are the senior. It's your fault.
which meant that Clover also figured it out. And just like you said, Alice used the knife to take her life. Clover didn't realize that, though. Or perhaps she didn't want to. In any event, she decided that I must have killed Alice to keep her quiet. So she confronted me. It was right after the second round of the AB game. Using Phi's timetable, that would be 0
Dani,
hours,
noch.
0 minutes.
Wait, you were listening to us in the security office?
Yes, that wasn't all I was listening to, though. I know everything that happened in the facility after my body collapsed.
You were watching through the security cameras?
Yes, I was. I could see and hear everything. Anyway, we're at 0 hours, 0 minutes. I was in the hallway on floor A when Clover found me and took me to room 2 in the crew quarters. We entered at about 0 hours, 1 minute. She was very forceful.
I know you killed Alice. Tell me the truth and I'll let you live. Now fess up! I'm only gonna give you one chance. If you lie or try to play dumb or something, I'll kill you right in front of her!
I told her the truth, of course. I explained that I hadn't killed Alice, that she'd been infected with Radical 6, and it had caused her to kill herself. Clover was never going to believe that, though. We argued about it for nearly 9 minutes. It wasn't just Alice she asked me about. She asked me about the murder of the old woman, and about the AB room being moved. She wasn't very nice about it, but I couldn't answer any of her questions.
Because of your orders?
Yes. Then, at about 0 hours, 10 minutes, she must have run out of patience.
Wie dieser Mund
She
die ganze
stuck
Zeit
her hand
verändert,
in
von
her
der
pocket
bewegt
and
sich
started
zu er
moving
bewegt sich
towards
nicht.
me.
It's
She
weird.
backed me up against the wall and pulled her hand out of her pocket. She was holding the injection gun.
Alter.
I tried to take it away from her. I even
Wie es
screamed
immer
for
so ein
help.
2-Sekunden-Loop ist und
Ja.
mehr ging nicht.
Aber dann zeigen sie den auch nur so kurz.
Ja,
She
ja.
refused to let go, of course, while we were fighting over it.
Well, hold on a minute. The trigger got pulled in the fight, I get that part. What I don't understand is why it did anything to
You
you.
mean because I'm a golem?
Yeah,
One of my orders was always to act like I was one of the players. A human. Any human injected with that amount of tubocurarine would die.
that's why you, died? To keep up the facade that you were a human.
No, I collapsed because Zero Jr. turned off the power to my body again. He probably felt he had to. Maintaining the illusion that I was human was probably in his orders too. So to make it look like I had died, he turned the power off. Whatever the case, it was an accident. I don't think Clover ever intended to actually kill me. She only took the injection gun to try
She
and
would never
threaten
do
me.
something like that.
How can you be sure?
When I collapsed, she looked terrified. She checked for my pulse and listened to see if I was breathing. She also shook my body and called out to me several times. If she'd meant to kill me, why do all that? After a few moments, she ran off to the infirmary to get the AED.
You mean the defibrillator
Yes,
that uses an electric shock to restart the heart, right?
correct.
So that was why she left.
Yes.
At 0 hours, 11 minutes, 40 seconds, Clover left the cabin in the crew quarters.
She ran off toward the infirmary. On the way, she bumped into Dio.
Dio?
Yes, I guess she just saw him, really. They didn't talk. She just ran past.
And he just watched her go by?
Yes, I imagine he was curious, of course. He probably wondered what she was doing, but he chose not to go after her. He had something else to do.
At 12 minutes, Dio enters the room.
He seemed pretty surprised to find my body.
Yeah, I bet.
It didn't take him long to get over it, though.
Wouldn't
It's
imagine it
kind of a
would.
dick that way.
What did he do then?
He'd gone there for 2 reasons. One was to get Alice's bracelet, which was a blue solo.
Right. Without it, Dio and Kay, the yellow pair, wouldn't be able to get through the secondary door.
Yeah, but he couldn't find it.
Of course. Phi had already taken it by then.
Yes, but there was something else he wanted to do too. He was there to take the knife. Removing it was gruesome.
But why did he want a knife? Was it because he'd used it to kill the old woman?
No, I don't think so.
Then what do you think?
I think he didn't want anyone to see the engraving on the knife's blade. That's why he hid it so well after he killed the old woman.
Why wouldn't he want anyone to see that?
Do you remember what it said? There was a word engraved on the blade.
Myrmidons.
Yes.
War vielleicht auch nicht so clever, das auf dieses Ding aufzuschreiben.
Yeah. What does Myrmidons mean?
It's the name of the
Das ist daran nicht
organization
kann,
he belongs to.
Huh, what is it, like a club or something?
I don't think so.
Well, what is it then? Ja, scheinbar hat er alle Erinnerungen, aber dann doch nicht alle.
Ja.
I don't really know.
No idea.
I'm afraid not.
Wait, wasn't he here to try and stop whatever Zero was doing?
Yes.
Then, wouldn't it mean that he's on our side?
I don't know about
Good
that.
point.
He's killed 4 people. I'm not really sure he's on anyone's side.
You've got a point. Damn it, this is ridiculous. I guess this enemy of my enemy isn't my friend, huh?
May I continue?
Yeah, keep going. Weird.
Was, ja?
After he took the knife, Dio rifled through...
weird.
Ich dachte jetzt, sie würde das weiter vorlesen, aber nee, war ja gerade auch so. Dio rifled through what few belongings Alice had. Luna said he didn't seem to be looking for anything in particular. He was probably just checking to see if she had anything useful. That was where he found the key to Kay's suit. He didn't seem to have any particular reason for taking it. At least, as far as Luna could tell.
He's just a thief.
At 13 minutes, Dio left the room.
He heard Kay opening the cyan door and ran out. When he left, he was heading toward the infirmary. My guess is that he was going after Clover. He found her with the AED. She was probably planning to just ignore him and head back, but Dio didn't let her.
Hey, wait. Just what are you planning to do with that thing? Thinking about trying to resuscitate Luna? And why would you want to do that? You were the one who killed her, weren't you?
When Clover tried to push past Dio, Luna said they began to fight.
Fuck do you think you're doing?
Dio pulled a knife out of his pocket and pointed it at Clover's throat. That was when he showed up. Temuji.
Dio, what the hell are you doing? None of your goddamn business. Stay out of this, you senile old shit.
Like hell, you son of a bitch!
He let out a yell and leapt toward Dio. The younger man dodged him easily and lashed out with the knife. Temuji caught Dio's hand with a grunt, and for a moment the two men struggled. Then as the knife edged closer, he wrapped his other hand around the blade and tried to force it away. Immer diese Animation.
So wie sehr viel Blut.
But Dio was a much younger and stronger man, and the wound Temuji gave himself with the knife didn't do him any favors.
Und ein Militärklon.
He put up a valiant fight, but with a roar Dio threw him off, and Temuji collapsed to the floor.
What are you going to do?
Let's see. How about this?
Jesus.
Der hat sie ja dann aber noch gefesselt.
Naja, die musste ja nicht.
How cute. You two really look great together, you know?
Die musste er ja
What are
nicht
you going
killen.
to do to us?
Isn't it obvious?
Stimmt, die sind
Aber die sind
einfach
beide
so,
nicht tot. Ja, die
die
werden
sind
noch.
ja so gestorben.
I'm gonna handcuff you to a sink. Actually, I already have.
Are you gonna beat us to death or something?
Ugh, no. Nothing so tasteless.
What are you going to do then?
How'd you like to make a bet?
A bet?
You've got, 20-some minutes until the primary white doors open. So I'd say you've got 25 minutes until they close. Give or take. If somebody happens to come by here before the doors close, you might live. But if nobody finds you, well...
We'll be penalized.
Exactly. So, I suggest you start screaming for help now. Unfortunately for you, just about all the rooms in this place are behind at least 2 nice thick
böse, der Dio.
doors. So unless they're pretty close, nobody's gonna hear you scream.
Wenn so Sachen sagen,
Well,
nette
I'm
Menschen
off to
nicht.
the floor B warehouse, okay? Enjoy your last 25 minutes. Later.
Von wegen later.
25 minutes passed and no one came. Of course, by then there were only 3 other people who could have come, apart from Dio.
You mean me, Fi, and Kay, right?
Yes, you were in the crew quarters at this point.
Yeah. Kay had told us about you. We'd also noticed that the knife in Alice's chest had been removed. If only we'd know what was happening in the infirmary.
Unfortunately for Clover and Tenmyoji, their time had come. Once the primary white door closed, both of their bracelets injected them with Soparil.
The anesthetic, right?
Yes. Almost immediately they started to feel sleepy. I think that's when Clover realized she was definitely going to die. That was when she decided to leave her message. Just as you said, she wrote on her left thigh with her right hand.
And the word she wrote was Dio.
Yes. As for what happened in the rec room, well, I guess I don't really need to tell you. Your theory was essentially correct. What you said was what happened.
I'm going to tell you anyway. So.
So Kay sprayed Dio's bracelet, bla 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 bla.
Korrekt.
And then the
Da war die
axe.
Animation von dem...
And then
Da
the
ist der
spear.
Angriff in dem... Ey, guck mal, das geht ja echt ganz fix.
Dio mortally wounded him, but didn't kill him, so Kay turned around and stabbed Dio with the spear. And that's that. And I guess that's when we found them.
Yes.
Kurz und schmerzlos, dankeschön.
When did Kay get the Lumina?
After
Damn
they
it,
went
who
through the
cares?
white door, Dio and Kay found themselves in the direct. When they were done there, they headed back to floor A to look for everyone else. They went to the crew quarters
Aber ich ist also,
then
es
to
ist
the
schon sehr
infirmary.
viel. Andererseits hab ich auch irgendwie Respekt vor, dass hier so alles eines nach dem anderen
Of course,
abgehakt wird.
they found Clover and Tenmyoji's bodies there. Dio expected to find them, of course.
Es ist für mich immer noch Wahnsinn, vorzustellen, wie dieses Skript für diese so, ach, wie der kreative Prozess war, weißt du? Wie du das zusammensetzt und so.
And that was when he found the Lumina.
Right.
Deswegen habe ich auch, also finde ich auch so Fahrrad nicht schlimm, wo dann Alice sich plötzlich killt und dann ist Game Over. Da gibt es halt so ein paar Dinge, wo man sagt, okay, das war jetzt nicht so elegant geschlossen.
Everything that
Yeah.
happened. Do you have any questions?
Well, what do you think? Does a bear shit in the woods? Well, the first thing is Quark's bracelet. Why was it in the infirmary?
Tenmyoji had it. Then when Dio attacked him, it fell out of his pocket.
But why did Tenmyoji have Quark's bracelet?
I told him where it was. Do you remember when you were in the rec room with Fi and Tenmyoji?
Yeah, when he sprayed us with the Lumina, right? Sure, I remember that.
Right after then. When he left the rec room, he went toward the green door to look for Quark. I ran into him at the end of the hallway, where the 3 doors and the switch are. That was when I told him.
Da also.
Look, Tenmyoji, the center door is unlocked.
Ich mochte das und das mit dem Porträt.
That was the treatment room, right?
Yes,
Where Quark was sleeping?
right. It only took him a moment. As soon as he saw Quark, he ran to his pod and started crying.
Out of relief, right?
Yes, the display on the pod showed Quark's vital signs. It was obvious he was alive the moment you looked at it. Next to the pod was Quark's bracelet. That was how Tenmyoji got it.
Why was Quark's bracelet off?
I took it off.
How?
Aluminum foil.
What? You mean the stuff from the crew quarters?
Oh, you found it? Did you know that aluminum foil has electromagnetic shielding properties?
What?
Here's an exciting fact. Your heart creates a bunch of faint electrical impulses. Anyway, the point is that
Wurde er doch nicht eingefroren.
electricity that your heart
Oder einfach ein
makes
bisschen
when
Aluminium drum
pumping
gewickelt.
blood. Your fancy little bracelets pick up on that. They're always watching.
Da ist einfach ein Foto von Aluminiumfolie.
Wait, so you're telling me the aluminum foil can block the electromagnetic waves your heart sends out?
Also ich glaube, ich würde es jetzt auch als FMV-Game bereits bezeichnen.
All you have to do is wrap it around your bracelet.
And the bracelet thinks your heart has stopped?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, indeed.
Was that easy all along?
Damn
Anyway,
it!
I used some
Now I
aluminum
feel
foil to
stupid.
get Quark's bracelet off. Then I put it next to the pod.
Wait, why was Quark in the pod to begin with?
Oh, that's easy. I put him there.
When did you do that?
Remember when we were first looking for Quark? I found him unconscious near the entrance to the Golem Bay.
So you carried him to the treatment pod.
Yes.
Were you the one who unlocked the treatment center too?
No, I was not. I do not have the authority to operate any of this facility's machinery.
So it was Zero Jr.
That's right.
He reactivated your body too, right? Man, I don't get any of this. Why the hell did he do that? I guess it wasn't really him that did it, huh? He was just doing what Zero Senior and the old lady had told him to do. Everything leads back to them, huh? Of course it does. Darf sie nicht sagen. Classified information.
Wie sie einfach dann so ins Nichts startet. Wahrscheinlich
Ja.
mal so kurz nach rechts guckt zu ihm so.
So are you going to tell me?
Tell you what?
Isn't that obvious? Tell me what this project is. Everything that happens in here has something to do with it. So, why were we brought here?
To play the nonary game.
And why were we supposed to play the nonary game?
That was part of the project.
Damn you!
Why did Alice kill herself?
Because she was infected with Radical 6.
How did she get infected?
Zero Senior and the old woman did that.
Why?
It was a necessary evil. It had to happen for the project to succeed.
What would have happened if Alice hadn't committed suicide?
Clover wouldn't have suspected me, and she wouldn't have accidentally, killed me.
Then what?
I wouldn't have collapsed, and Dio wouldn't have found my body. That would have meant the confrontation in the infirmary never took place.
In other words, you're saying Clover and Temuji died for this project?
Yes.
Well, actually it was the tuberculin that killed them.
Ach.
But they were only injected with it because of their bracelets, and they were only wearing those bracelets because of the nonary game. If the nonary game was part of the project, then that's one more way it killed them.
I guess, if you want to look at it that way.
Now, what about Kay and Dio? Why would they kill each other?
Because Dio killed the old woman. He was worried about getting caught, so he tried to kill Kay before he could find out the truth.
Then if Dio hadn't killed the old lady, what happened in the rec room? What happened in the rec room would never have taken place, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Why did Dio kill her?
So that he could pose as one of the participants.
And why did he do that?
To disrupt the project.
Then why did she let him kill her?
The same reason they did all of this. It was a necessary evil. The project couldn't be allowed to fail.
Er gibt sein Bestes. Sigma,
Ja, er versucht so
Step für Step.
langsam.
Come on, Luna. Stop staring.
6 people died here. 4 of them were murdered one way or another by Dio. At first that makes it look like Dio's the reason they all died, but that's not true, is it? All of them, all 6 of them, they all died for this project. That means that the murderer, I guess I should say murderers, were the old lady and Zero Senior, right?
Schuldgefühle, damit schaffen wir es.
Damit kommt man bei Robotern immer weit. Please, Luna, tell me, what is this project about?
Dass du das überhaupt selbst aushalten kannst. Toll, gerade den Controller weggelegt.
Ja.
Für Hintergrundinformationen.
Weil ich kann mir nicht vorstellen, dass das, oh ja, eine Viertelstunde ist bestimmt alles geklärt. Es geht bestimmt noch ein bisschen zumindest, aber das machen wir in einer neuen Aufnahmesession. Für euch ist jetzt nur die Folge vorbei und vielleicht machen wir es einfach morgen zu Ende, Robin.
Ich hätte Bock.
Ja. Also wir haben zwar morgen noch ein paar andere Aufnahmen vor, aber vielleicht kriegt man das ja auch hin. Nach denen, wenn dann noch Zeit ist, gucken wir einfach mal.
Ja.
Gut, ansonsten...
Morgen Livestream VLA.
Das wäre so random.
Das können wir jetzt in also ist jetzt vor 3 Wochen schon her, aber wir spielen morgen 4 Stunden lang Livestream VLA.
Und alle wundern sich so.
Ja.
Na gut, also für euch, wie gesagt,
Alter,
hoffentlich keine so große Pause, aber...
Ich hatte auch gar keinen Bock mehr groß dazwischen zu reden, weil es einfach so viel...
Nee, es ist ja jetzt auch wirklich nur noch Story.
Ja, also wir haben jetzt wirklich seit... Wie lange haben wir letztes Mal gespielt? 1,5 Stunden? Jetzt nochmal irgendwie knapp 2 Stunden. Also es waren jetzt 3 bis 4 Stunden noch kein Rätsel. Davor gab es ja auch schon eine Weile. Also eher so 5 Stunden kein Rätsel mehr, glaube ich. 1 kommt halt, wie gesagt, noch.
Ja, wir haben doch alle.
Es kommt noch 1. Ich glaube nicht, dass es da...
Ach ja, hier. Okay.
Das letzte. Aber es dauert noch ein bisschen.
Okay, gut, dann speichere ich mal.
Wir sind kurz kurz für WLA-Verhältnisse natürlich. Aber mega weit, mega viel ist es nicht mehr.
Ja.
I'm very excited.
Ich bin auch sehr gespannt, was dann hier am Ende noch kommt. Es sind noch 2 Fragezeichen. Eins muss ja diese andere Entscheidung sein, die man an der einen Stelle trifft.
Maybe.
Und eins das hier.
Maybe.
Okay. Gut. Bis dann.
Tschö.